Okay, it is 10:51 a.m. on the 23rd of January 2021. What I did with the first this, I need to back up and explain something. I deleted yesterday's video. I think it was yesterday's. And the reason is I had a huge fat cockroach crawl down across that sign right there. And so I gave my son one of my cards and said, go get some bug spray. And we sprayed crap out of this office. And guess what? We only found one bug, and that was the one that was on the video. I hate cockroaches with a passion, I do. That's why there's Rage sitting up there on the counter. But it had a picture. I showed the bass guitar and the damage to it due to my own stupidity. It's got some veneer cracks all the way across the top of that thing. Those two really pronounced ones go all the way into the inside. The top of the cello, the area underneath the strings has to be repaired. My good friend in Lone Grove that I won't name, he turned me on to a guy that's now my friend on Facebook, and he told me about a man up in Oklahoma City that repairs guitars. And so what I'm going to do, when I've got the money, first I've got his name written down. I got to call him and see what it's going to take to get it repaired, and I'll take in-depth photos and send to him to make sure I've got the money to pay for it. Now, before I do that, this next week I've got to get Linda's Expeditions heater core repaired. I've got to look up that phone number that my buddy sent me for a garage and tell him I'm ready to bring it to him. What I have to do is the way I do this is the way I did it with the other garage, and that I'd been using on Linda's Navigator, and they kept jacking the price up more and more and more on me. She really likes her Navigator, so I'm probably going to see if these guys can repair it after they repair the Expedition. Excuse me. Another thing I'm going to be doing today is filming down at the dam to show you what they did. It's coming along really nicely. Why would I want to repair that old bass? Well, it is an old bass. About 30 years ago, I guess, 35 years ago, at that time, I was also working as an investigator, and I had two side businesses. I skipped trace stuff and people, and I had a sign business I operated plus my regular day job. Got to get a sip. And it took all of it to keep the home fires burning, but I got a phone call, and the Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers had played performance up in Oklahoma City. I think it was at the Zoo Amphitheater. I'm not sure if that long ago they actually had concerts up there, but I think that's where it was. And Mr. Blair asked me if I thought I could locate his guitar. What had happened, they had an extra equipment van out there. They had the regular semi-equipment van, then they had a smaller one, then they had a tour bus they traveled in. And somebody had gotten into the smaller one and had gotten equipment and made off with it. You know, it's really sad when people do this. It's horrible because that's how a musician makes their living, is with their instruments and their voice. But anyway, I found it in a pawn shop. I bought it out of the pawn shop. I got back with him, and he went ahead and paid me anyway and said, just keep the guitar. And I thought that's really cool. It's worth quite a bit of money just because of the provenance I've got on it and who it went back to. But I'm going to get it repaired by someone that knows what they're doing. I do a little bit of woodwork, but I talked to my wife, and it would be horrible if I did it. I want it to look like it did when it was new, and it's going to take some money to do that, I know. They have to de-string it, take the neck off, take the, I forget what you call it, the platform there, separate that from the cello. And on this particular guitar, it's probably going to be harder because it's an ovation and the back side of it's curved and has it's made out of the stuff they used to make helicopter canopies out of. It has a very nice tone to it, or it did. I haven't picked it up in over a year and a half. I left the heat off, it got extremely cold, and it cracked it. And it didn't damage any of the other guitars up there, I hope, simply because they're newer. That one's fairly old. But that's why I started the video like I did. And had a really rough night last night. I got to bed by 11. I forced myself to lay down. Linda went to bed a little bit before that. And what I do at night, and this is going to sound so stupid when I say this, but I go on Facebook first to see what my friends are doing. Then after that, I'll go on YouTube and see what kind of news is going there. And I just keep surfing the web. And I take a bunch of medication, pain medication, and I wait on it to kick in. Last night I didn't wait on it to kick in, and evidently I woke my wife up a couple of times, and I apologize to you for that, sweetheart. Mom and John, I love you. I hope everything's going well with you. I really do. Michael Paul, I hope you're doing well. Also, you notice the lamp's gone back there from in front of Alf. Well, I'll show you where I put it. Right there. When I turn that lamp on, well, I'll just do that real quick. It makes a nice soft glow. It doesn't hurt my eyes. I can take these old shades off and work in comfort. Well, other than those few items, that's what's going on with me today. My son Brandon fixed me breakfast and brought it into the bedroom. When I left the bedroom a while ago, I locked the door, and Linda's still sleeping, and I hope she sleeps a long time. She hasn't gotten to lay down for a nap for quite a while due to having to watch Benjamin's babies. Well, that's it. I love all of you. I do. I want God to bless everybody watching this with more blessings than they've ever had. And I love all of you. God bless you. And I'll do this again tomorrow.